We are celebrating 20 years of Spinnin', an era full of great artists, consecutive highlights, and memorable music. Because of this huge milestone, we've asked our DJs to share their Spinnin' stories. In this episode, Bingo Players.
First encounter with Spinnin Records was when I was browsing through like vinyl records, because I collected vinyl records back in the days. And I saw this S logo, and it was a record from Beanie and Martini Happiness. The S logo stood out for me, and I was like, which record company is this? So it turned out to be Spinnin Records, and I still have it in my collection. Actually, it was more of sneakers music, which was a sub-label of Spinnin Records. Then we were like looking into the sneakers catalog, and we found so many great tracks. And then we were like, we want to release on this label. Eventually we had a track and we signed it to Sneakers Music, and we were so happy with that.
This first release on Sneakers Music was just the very beginning. Their first worldwide hit, which is a golden oldie nowadays, was just a few songs away. We're talking about Cry Just a Little.
Actually, I was one day at home watching MTV, and it was like this, just a marathon of like more obscure R&B tracks. So I saw that sample and I was like, oh wow, that's a cool hook. So I sampled it, made a track out of it. I didn't want to release it, it was just for fun. So I uploaded it to YouTube under the name Yves Tangelo as like a parody on Steve Angelo. A few years later, Paul was at my place and he was like, I remember you doing like some sort of like with a high-pitched vocal thing. And he looked it up on YouTube and he was like, dude, this video has so many views. Why didn't we release this? We were looking like on YouTube like videos, and we saw Feldt, for instance, like playing Ultra in Miami, and we saw him play Put Your Hands Up for Detroit, and the crowd went nuts, and we're like, wow, Dutch DJ playing in the US, that's amazing. We immediately were like, this sound is like something fresh, something new, we want to get into that. Yeah, that was our goal, to make music that people outside of Holland loves as well.
Their minds were set. Bingo Players wanted to conquer the stages in the US as well. They've developed a musical weapon for this, the rattle. But this masterpiece wasn't so well received in the beginning.
Rattle was the biggest song, so the first time when we produced it, we played it out in some clubs in Europe and nobody responded to it. And we were like, oh, this song is not gonna make it. And so we sent it to Spinnin, and they were like, we love it, we love it, we love it. They put a preview on YouTube and we got thumbs down. We were like, what is this shit, blah, blah, blah. Paul and I were like, okay, let's cancel this record, don't release it. So we were saying to Jorn, the A&R, like, listen, this song, people hate it. Please don't release it. And he was like, no, trust me, this song is gonna be big, big, big. They put it out, and suddenly we get like texts from people like, oh shit, the Rattle song's going big in Australia and the US. And so when we came back, like a few months later, and we played that song and we saw people going nuts, it was, for us, like, mind was blown. Of course, was when Rattle became #1 in the UK. I was actually on holiday with my girlfriend, and we were at the beach in St. Martin, and there was a rivalry between Britney Spears and will.i.am and Rattle. So I was at the beach and I got like text, ding ding, we're #1. I couldn't believe it. It's very surreal because, of course, you should be like super happy, and I was happy, no doubt, of course, but it's weird if you're on holiday on the beach just relaxing, and then you have a #1 hit in the UK, which is big, of course, and then you had all these interviews lined up because we were the first Dutch act since Too Limited, like in 15-20 years, that became #1 in the UK. One of the tracks that's really memorable for me is the Nadia Ali, Starkillers and Alex Kenji Pressure track and a lesser remix, because at that time we were just touring the US. Everywhere where you played it, people went nuts. It's for me the pinnacle of like the EDM back in 2012, 2013, where we getting into the scene and playing US shows. I think like nowadays the genres are more segmented, so it's like you have like the really hard EDM, you have the more techie stuff. What I personally love is that the groovy house is coming back a bit more. I'm producing a bit more like disco-y, funky stuff. So yeah, I'm really excited. I don't know what the future's gonna bring, but I'm always gonna do like what I feel is gonna be good for myself, or like something I feel inside that has to come out. Hey, this is Bingo Players, and I want to congratulate Spinnin Records with their 20th year anniversary. Thank you so much for your support, and 220 years.